This just in, out of college football, Ohio State head coach Ryan Day announced that Kyle McCord will be the starting QB on Saturday against Indiana. McCord has appeared in 12 games in 3 years at OSU, throwing for 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. He beat out Devin Brown for the role of QB1. Despite the decision, Day said that Brown is still expected to play on Saturday. Our partners at Sportsline have the Buckeyes as 30-point favorites against the Hoosiers. You can catch that game at 3:30 Eastern on CBS and streaming live on Paramount Plus. You see here Kyle McCord and Devin Brown, neither with a whole bunch of experience, but for now, at least this Saturday, it is Kyle McCord who will be the one to get the start on Saturday. And now, for even more on the situation out there in Columbus, we have our sports reporter for 24/7 Sports covering Ohio State. That's Dave Biddle joining us on the phone right now. And Dave, thank you so much for your time. First, I just want to know what set McCord apart in being the one named the starter.
Well, I will caution everybody not to look too much into this. I wonder if they were leading off the season with Notre Dame like they did last year, if there might have been a different decision. I feel like they know they can get through the first few games. They like both quarterbacks, Kyle McCord and Devin Brown. I do think this was very close competition, but there's no way Ryan Day would have said a few minutes ago when I asked him the question that Devin Brown's not just going to play. He's going to play meaningful reps. You wouldn't say that if you knew you had your guy. So I think what they're going to do, Kyle is going to take the first snap, probably going to play the first couple of series is my guess. Ryan didn't lay it out like that. And then Devin Brown will get in there. I would imagine the same thing might happen next week. They play Youngstown State from the FCS level. I think both guys will play. And then by week 3 against Western Kentucky, I think they'll have their main guy, whoever that might be. Because you don't want to go to the Notre Dame game, that being the first game where you know who your quarterback is. I've heard that, the battle's gone back and forth. At one point, Devin Brown was leading, according to sources. To answer your question, it sounds like Kyle McCord has been more consistent the last couple of weeks, and that's really what it boiled down to. But it's razor thin, and both guys are going to play.
So if the margin is so close between the two of them right now, is it more of a situation of McCord is on a short leash, and if he messes up, then he's out of there? Or for Brown, if he plays well whenever he gets in the game, it can become his job?
Yeah, I really think they're going to settle it on the field now, which makes it pretty interesting. It's similar, ironically, because it's Ohio State's rival, of course, very similar to what Michigan did last year, if it works out that way. Cade McNamara was the starting quarterback the first game. J.J. McCarthy was the starting quarterback the second game. They went with J.J., and we know the rest from there. I could see a similar scenario happening. Not necessarily Devin Brown starts next week, but they play out the first 2 games and then name their guy. And again, if I was a betting man, I would say Devin Brown's going to be the starting quarterback. Let's say, when they go play Notre Dame, when they're playing Penn State, and they're playing Michigan this year. But we'll see. Maybe Kyle McCord, if he goes out there and plays very well against Indiana, even though it's just Youngstown State the next week and outplays Devin Brown, then maybe Kyle McCord will then be the guy that seizes the job. It makes a lot of drama. It's good for business. It's a lot of fun. But I do think eventually Devin Brown's going to win this job. He's a year younger. If it's that close, you could make the argument, well, don't you go with the younger guy? I mean, Kyle's had more time in the system, only a year more, but still, Devin's a little bit more mobile. But that's not the path Ryan Day is choosing at this very moment.
Yes, at least Devin Brown will have to outplay Kyle McCord on the field if he wants to be that starter going forward. But for now, of course, we know that it will be Kyle McCord coming up this Saturday. Dave Biddle joining us on the phone from Columbus, covering Ohio State for 24/7 Sports. And you can catch that Ohio State at Indiana game this Saturday. CBS Sports and Big Ten football. That game will also be streaming on Paramount Plus. It's part of a doubleheader this weekend, so keep it locked on CBS or Paramount Plus to get your fix of Big Ten football as college football season is here. And all things college football can always be found on 24/7 Sports. They cover everything. If your team is out there playing college sports, they're covering their football team. Also recruiting rankings, high school news, updates, transfer portal, signings, and everything else in between all the time. Check out your team.